So, hi everyone, welcome to the EPTL Podcast. I have with me someone very special. I have with me Shri Baljinder ji, who happens to be the head of Dunlop, and Dunlop happens to be a very proud sponsor of EPTL. Let me talk a little bit about Mr. Baljinder because I'm sure my audience is going to find him very interesting. He did his undergrad from the Kurukshetra University, so he's a local boy. It's not as if he went outside and everything. He had humble beginnings. Then of course he went on to do his MBA in international business from the IIFT, which is in Delhi. Of course, he's been associated with Dunlop for around 4.5 years, but he's been in the racket sports industries for more than a decade, around 15 years. Sir, I do welcome you. A very warm welcome to you on the EPTL podcast.
My pleasure, my pleasure. Same being here.
Sir, I want to understand you first, and then we'll go to Dunlop and EPTN and everything because I really want to understand you as a person. It takes a very specific segment for an individual to consistently work for 15 years. You must have a very special interest in the racket sort of field in the entire industry. So what drives your interest towards this industry so much?
Nothing in particular. See, like all professionals, you get an opportunity working with good brands in racket sports industry. I was fortunate to work with some of the top brands, our competitors today. I started with them. They are world's top racket sports brands. And then, of course, as you go along it, you find the industry interesting. When you're growing in industry, you get good results, you make acquaintances, and you get along. And this is how you grow up, and then you're comfortable in your zone. Then it's some sort of a niche. Okay. So this is very small. Within sports also, racket sports is a very small segment. So once you get acquainted with it, you make relations, you have got interactions, and there is an ecosystem around you. You're more comfortable doing that.
And so tell me then about Dunlop. How did you, I know that of course Dunlop is one of those, great organizations almost every professional would want to be associated with and work for. But what do you think that your personal values perhaps, correlate to Dunlop's value? So much so that you've been working in Dunlop for around half a decade, heading the India division now. So tell me something about that.
See, Dunlop is an iconic brand more than 100 years back. They have been around with the leading sports athletes, tennis athletes, in fact, is world number one in squash as well. And they represent some of the biggest tennis tournaments across the world: Australian Open, ATP Tour, Davis Cup, you name it. Along India, also we have got the biggest tennis tournament, Tata Open. So Dunlop has been part of it. Dunlop has got its own immense historical value and a great legacy, if you say. So I am fortunate to be part of it. So as far as I can add, well, yes, when you bring across an experience of a local industry, and Dunlop being a global brand, so when it comes to any country or any territory or a area, so yes, there is a lot of local expertise which is required. So yes, I being in this industry and this particular racket sports for so long, so yes, I bring in my own local expertise into it, my own experience, my understanding of the local market, my relationships with the athletes, with coaches, with players, academies, and understanding of the product range, the specifications which are required, the range you need to build up in India. So this all helps a lot.
Sir, since you've been in the racket industry for around 15 years, I do have a question to ask. Sir, आप किसी ना किसी अच्छे से टेनिस प्लेयर से तो मिले होंगे. Did you get a chance to meet these international players? And how was your, कोई interesting story, some anecdote about meeting these people in person?
I have met almost uh, all top players right from when I started with uh, Mr. Ramesh Krishnan is a legend, and he was coming up, and then of course Leander was there, just coming up the scene. Mahesh Bhupati was there on scene. Sania was coming up on the scene when I was also getting into the industry and getting acquainted. So on and off, yes, I have met all of them across the tournaments. Sometimes opportunities they are on the ground, and it has been interesting knowing all of them. Very good human beings also, very passionate about playing for the nation, and we have seen them representing India in Davis Cup and all, and how passionately they played. Apart from being professionals in their own scenario. Okay, so that is one, and then younger players now like Bopana. So we met them during Tata Open. We meet all of them. Sumit Nagal, yes, we do.
Excellent, sir. But I do wish to ask you, since you do head Dunlop, and you've spoken about Indian players and the upcoming Indian players as well. What does Dunlop have in store for the young and the upcoming Indian tennis breed, so to say, the new talent?
See, see, Dunlop has a we follow when we follow a brand in a particular country like India. So we follow a Dunlop's global plan as such. So overall, Dunlop has got this program of supporting the grassroots players, like the top 5 or top 10 players in each age group, boys and girls and all that. So we have been doing so in India, and we are trying to support players who are upcoming. We are open to sponsorships, so the kids who really want to go up seriously on the professional career in tennis. Okay, so we send around our what do you say uh, our intentions to the coaches academies that yes, if they have got some talented players in their academies, they can always refer us, so that we can take a call. So we're open to supporting a lot of upcoming talent.
So that's actually very useful as well for other listeners who are, of course there are so many. Tennis as a sport in India is, I won't, it's very popular, at least in my circle. So it's a very good fact that Dunlop, a company such as that, is actively supporting these grassroots players. So I wish to ask you now about EPTL. Why did Dunlop choose to? I am going to be very blunt about it. I know, for a better part of anything. Why did Dunlop decide to part with the EPTL? What? How does it? How do you see it as a good fit?
See, like all other cricket leagues and all, tennis league have also started coming up quite well in India, and a lot of regional leagues are happening, and national leagues are happening in different zones. So when the EPTL team approached us to be part of the tournament, so we went through the proposal, and I think it was very well structured, and they planned to market it very well, and they were really but it was looking at the kind of place they were doing it, and the kind of marketing impetus they had. So it was very interesting. So I met them, spoke to them, and then yes, we agreed that we should be part of it. And anyhow, Dunlop being a tennis brand, we keep on looking for good tennis opportunities, good events where we can be part or partner to them. Globally, it happens, and this is way how the sports brands, they work.
Sir, one of the questions I wanted to ask you with is, could you tell me, and could you point out, and perhaps maybe even globally, not restricted to India, ऐसे कोई particular events which grew up as not just as a result of your partnership or Dunlop's partnership with them, but even beyond that. So can you tell a few stories related to that? Any events that immediately after they partnered with Dunlop, it just blew up or grew up, expanded to what it is today? Any stories like that?
You mean particularly in India?
Not just in India, but even globally. But if you can give me examples in India, I'd love that.
Nothing of that sort. See, the tournaments, all the big tournaments, they have been happening for so many years. All the Grand Slam have been happening for so many years. ATP Tour has been there. So brands, they come and go, being part of them. So currently, Dunlop is the partner to ATP Tour as an official ball, which runs the largest number of ATP tournaments across the world, and also part of Australian Open
Australian
Grand
Open,
Slam.
yeah, yeah.
So in India, yes, when the Tata Open started, we became part of them. But incidentally, I think next year Tata Open is not going to happen. It has switched off from India, is going to some other country. But yes, we were part of them for 3 years, and it has been very nice growth. We have been growing together. It was interesting.
So
But yes, EPTL is first tournament which doesn't have that kind of legacy as per such. But we have started with them, and we just hope it goes national next year. Has got a bigger and larger format to work on. So I think
Sir,
it would be really interesting.
sir, I'll do you one better. I'll make sure, and we'll make sure, EPTL team will make sure that it goes international and not just national, because it
Right.
has already
Right.
gone national. So we really do
Yeah,
hope
of
to
course.
bring in international players as well. Um, my final question to you is perhaps a message to the EPTL players and the EPTL tournament. People who are playing in EPTL as well. Any message in particular for them?
Yeah, message to anybody, an athlete. Best message is yes, go and give your best. And that's what sports is all about. Winning and losing is not your the goal that you take. Yes, you have got ambitions. You have to be challenging. You have to be competitive. But yes, at end of the day, it is sports. You anybody into sports is because he loves the sports. He's got a passion for it. That's the first place he has got into sports. So all the athletes who have been playing here and who are coming to EPTL, and we wish them best of luck. And yes, to the winner as well.
Sir, I really do hope that Dunlop and you in particular continue your long and I hope fruitful association with us for the many seasons to come, including this one. Thank you again,
Yes,
sir.
yes, of course. I think it has been good start. I would really congratulate EPTL on the way they started right from the auction day, and they have been very professional and handled the brands quite well. Other sponsors also, myself also, and it's a good platform for us. And the ball we are going to use here is Dunlop Australian Open, which is one of the premium balls and one of the top playing balls across the world. So that will give them all the players a good opportunity to acquaint with one of the best balls available in the Indian market today, and it gives us also an opportunity to our product to be used by so many more players and other equipment as well, our rackets, strings, and all. So it's a good opportunity for us having interaction, having the first point experience with the players and for the players as well. And we intend to be part of this EPTL for many years down to come.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. Thank you again, sir, for
Thanks a lot.
joining us and taking your precious time out. I know you
Thank
have
you.
a very busy schedule, so thank you again for that.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
All right, sir. Thank you. Thank you again for joining us. Keep tuning in for other episodes. Thank you from the EPTL
Thank
podcast.